All right, today I want to share with you the safest way to play the game of craps. Well, what exactly does that mean? Stick around and find out. Casino craps, it might look complicated, but at its core, it's a simple game. Roll the dice, bet on the correct number, and win. Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I am a craps fanatic. My job, to teach you the game, to teach you the math and some strategies, and with a little luck, you can color up. So recently I was listening to my favorite podcast, You Can Bet on That, and they talked about a system called the hedgehog system. Well, they found the hedgehog system at the Wizard of Odds. The Wizard of Odds is a website that's run by Michael Shackelford, and he's kind of known throughout the industry. He's a mathematician, he runs actuary tables, he figures out these games, the odds and probabilities for actual casinos. He knows what he's talking about. Now, Michael never really recommends strategies. Why? Because he likes to play by the math. And the math says you make a line bet with maximum odds to lower the house edge as much as possible. And in that case, the don't is ever so slightly better than the pass, but you could really pick either side. The problem with playing either the pass or the don't pass with maximum odds, while it does have the lowest house edge, there is some volatility into it. So, over time, what does that mean? I don't know. It could mean, a year, 10 years. It's really based on an infinite amount of numbers. You're going to lose a very, very small fraction of a percent of your money. But that doesn't really help you if you play a 2-hour session or over the weekend. Just depending on how the dice rolls, you really could get wiped out playing one way or the other. Again, like all strategies, it just depends on how the dice roll. So he devised what he calls the hedgehog, which it doesn't lower the house edge necessarily. It's still significantly lower, below 1.4%, but it greatly lowers your standard deviation. Now let me just show you this simple strategy and how it works. He's always going to bet on the pass line. I'm going to use $100 chips, and I'll explain why in a minute. From there, he's just going to alternate making don't and come bets. So let's say we make the pass line, it goes to the 5. Now we're going to make a don't come bet. This travels behind the 9, then we're going to make a come bet. This travels to the 8, now we're going to make a don't come bet. So initially you might think, oh, okay, we're basically a hedging system. And technically these aren't hedge bets. Now they are bets that kind of offset each other. They're not hedging. So the good news about this is if you do play this way, look how much is on the table. There is a good chance, depending on your casino, you could get rated really high, but with very low risk. Obviously, you want even lower risk, bet smaller amounts, right? Find a $5, $10 table, bet $15 amounts, maybe even quarters. But if you're going to use this and it has a pretty low risk, you might think about going all the way up to black chips if you're really thinking about earning comps. And again, it's just going to depend if they rate you. Typically, they'll rate you really well on line bets. And then why we do $100 and not odds, which would be a lower house edge, well, most casinos don't rate you on odds, so why make the odds bet? And again, this strategy isn't really about maximizing a win potential. It's about being the safest way to play, the most low volatility way to play. The cool thing about the Wizard of Odds mentioning a strategy is he gives the data behind it. I'll go ahead and link up to it. He says 94% of the time you're going to win or lose only 5 units. So if you play this way, 94% of the time, let's say you do it at a $10 level, you're either going to win 50 or you're going to lose 50 94% of the time. Again, very low volatility, but because of that, maybe you bump up your bets and increase your comp winnings. There really isn't another reason to be playing this way because it doesn't give you a chance to win a lot of money. This is a way to increase your time at the table and potentially comps. Otherwise, if you're looking to win money, then you got to gamble some. You got to pick one side or the other and go for it. All right, enough talking. Let's go ahead and jump to a live roll and see how it does. On my next cruise is probably the strategy I'm going to try out. I'm probably going to start with a $25 level bet and see how it goes. I'm going to see how they rate me after an hour or so, and then if I need to, I'll bump up higher. But we'll see what happens at the $25 level. All right, here we go. New shooter coming out. 7 on the front line winner. So we'll just win that, rack it up, keep rolling, looking for a point. Yo 11, hey, we're off to a good start. Now I wish I was betting those black chips. That's okay. Here we go. 7. All right, we can do this all day, right? 7. All right, we're up 4 units. Time to cash out and head for a drink, right? 8, easy 8. All right, the puck's going to go on the 8. We've got a bet on the 8. Now we're going to move to the don't. Here we go. Long roll, but is it a 5? Trails behind the 5, and then we're going to make a comeback. 9, comeback will travel to the 9, and we'll make a don't. We're just alternating every time. Yo 11, that's a loser, and the don't come. So that will lose, and we'll just rebet it. 9. All right, so this 9 will come down and get paid. The don't will travel behind the 9, so we made a don't. Now we'll just make a bet in the come. Here we go. Dice off the table, no roll. I think I can grab that. All right, here we go. 5. No field 5. We got a bet behind the 5, so that's going to lose. Comeback will travel inside the 5. Made a come. Now we move to the don't. Here we go. This is going to drop, and they're going to call that an 8. Easy, 8 easy. That's our point hit. So we're going to get paid on the pass. Puck will go off, and this will travel behind the 8. So we made a don't. Now we go to the pass, so we'll just stay right there. Same shooter coming out. Here we go. There's a 9. So we lose behind the 9. We made our pass line bet. Now we move to the don't. 6, easy 6. Travel behind the 6. We made a don't. Now we move to the come. 7, 7 out. So what happens here? We lose our pass. We lose a come bet. Our last come gets paid. And then our don'ts come down, and those will get paid. Puck will go off. So we can rack that up, and the game starts over. So we'll just start over on the pass. We'll have a new shooter. And here we go. 7, frontline winner, and that's why we start out on the pass. Here we go. Because I thought about it, you have the advantage. You're a 2-1 favorite with the 7-11 when you start here. The interesting thing, though, is if a point gets established, then you make a don't, that dreaded 0.7 out that everyone hates, you'd lose 2 units. If you started on the don't, point gets established, you make a come bet, it becomes a wash instead of losing 2 units on that 0.7 out. So, I don't know. We're going to stick with the pass. That frontline winner's been working out for us. 10 the hard way, 10 hard. Probably mathematically, it makes very little difference, but you'd have to refer to Wizard of Oz. He would tell you better. All right, don't come. Here we go. 9. So travel behind the 9. Then we'll make another come bet. 8, easy 8. So travels inside the 8. Now we'll go to don't. Now this is like his 3rd iteration of this strategy. I think initially he said, count your bets, and then, because he didn't want them to be unbalanced. Because if the dice roll just right, you can end up with like 4 or 5 come bets up here, just depending, and not enough don'ts to kind of offset those. But as he did the math and showed the graphs for it, he says, just alternate your bets at all times, and it works out the same, or if not better. All right, so we're in the don't. I'm doing talking, I don't want to lose track, and here we go. 8 the hard way, 8 hard. So this come bet will come down, get paid. This will move behind the 8. So we did a don't. Now we'll just make a come bet. There we go. But for now, we're staying pretty balanced. There's a yo, that's just an immediate winner in the come. Essentially, we have 2 light side and 2 dark side bets. 8, easy 8. So we'll lose behind. Come will travel to the 8, and now we move to the don't. Yo 11, that's no good for the don't. So that will lose, and we'll replace it. 7, that was also no good for the don't. All right, what happens here? So we lose our pass, we lose in the don't come, and we lose our come. So we lost 3 units, and only this 1 unit wins here. So that'll come down, get paid, puck will go off. All right, I'm gonna dump the bowl, simulate a new shooter. And you can bet this at whatever unit you like. Like I said, if I do good, maybe I'll jump up to the black level. If it stays, I'm not losing or winning money and I'm getting better comp rating. Otherwise, I'm gonna stick with green. You could drop down to $5 or $10 if you wanted to. Again, this is not a strategy to win money, so if you're going to play that low, you're gonna spend a lot of time at the table and not win anything, but also you're not gonna get rated very much making, $5 bets. All right, here we go, new shooter coming out. 8, easy 8. Point will move to the 8. Made our pass, now we'll go to the don't. Dice off the table, no roll. I'll just grab a new one here. And there it is, dice off the table brings the 7. Worst case scenario, so we lose our pass and we lose our don't. Down 2 units there, puck will go off. The dreaded 0.7 or dice off the table superstition got us. All right, let's give it another try. 25 on the pass. Here we go. But bet whatever's comfortable for you. We're out on the 10, whatever you have the bankroll for. And now we go to the don't. 5, no field 5. We don't care about the field, we're not playing the field. This will travel behind the 5. Now we make a come bet. 7. All right, so we lose our pass, but our come bet wins and our don't bet wins. So we won back our 2 units there. It's a quick roll. I'm gonna restart on the pass. Here we go. 7, frontline winner. We'll take that. 5, point is 5. Pass, we move to the don't. There's the 5 right back. So we're gonna win on the pass. This is gonna travel behind the 5 and the puck will go off. Go ahead and rack this up. Our last bet was a don't, so we'll just go with the pass. Here we go. 9, our new point is the 9. That was a pass, so now we move back to the don't. 6, easy 6. So the travel behind the 6, and we'll make a come bet of 6. There's a 9, point hit. So we win on the pass. This will travel inside the 9 and the puck will go off. Now it's a point winner, so our last bet was a come, so now we'll actually go on the don't. Just gonna keep alternating. Same shooter, here we go. 8, easy 8. So our don't point is the 8, and now we go to the come. Here we go. 3, that's no good in the come. 3 craps. Just repeat our bet. Here we go. 6, easy 6. Got a bet behind here, so it's going to lose. This will travel inside the come. And then now we go to the opposite, don't. Starting to fill up our numbers here. Dice off the table. I think I can grab that. I see it. There it is. Here we go. 8 the hard way, point hit. So that's on the don't. So it loses. This will travel behind the don't. Puck will go off. We hit the point, we rolled a don't, so now we go switch and go to the pass. So here we're still pretty well balanced. All right, same shooter, coming out, looking for a new point. 6 the hard way, 6 hard. So this will come down, get paid. And we did a pass bet, so now we go to the don't. 6 the hard way. So pass line wins. Trails behind the don't. Puck will go off. So we made a don't. Now we go back to the pass. Here we go. 7, front line winner. I think I've rolled a 7 before. If I made a mistake, I hope not. So 7 is a winner here. It is a loser on an existing come bet, but these 3 units will come down and get paid. So we're still on the pass line, same shooter, looking for a new point. Here we go. 7. My dice rolled, but it was a 7, so we'll win. 7, all right. Oh, wow, okay. Maybe we should leave the table. We're definitely up multiple units. And 4 7s in a row. Hopefully I can just keep the same rhythm. No, there's the 8. Okay, all right. That's okay, we did good. So there's the 8. Now we go to the don't. Let's finish this off strong. 8-point hit. What a shooter. So pass is gonna win. This will travel behind the 8. Puck will go off. So that was a don't. Now we go back on the pass. Here we go. 7, front line winner. So not only do we win there, this don't will come down and get paid. And the dice are just kind of working out right now. Won't always be the case. There's the 5. We'll follow it up with a don't. 10, easy 10. Travel behind the 10. Now we make a come bet. 9. We'll travel inside the 9 and we'll make a don't. You probably want to stand up here in this corner so you can reach this. It is a self-serve bet. 8, easy 8. So travel behind the 8. Now we switch to the come. And there's the 7, end of the roll. So what happens here? We lose our pass. We lose any come bets. The last come gets paid, and these 2 units back here come down and get paid. Puck will go off. Game over. Let's go ahead and count it up, see where we're at. We never got into the blacks. I probably would have hopped up to the black level maybe. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's our buy-in. So we're in profit of 1, 2, 3, 375. So our color up is $1,375. Sometimes you'll end up a couple units, sometimes you'll end up down a couple units. I think the sequence of rolls just worked out for us really well that time, and so we colored up, which is always a positive, and hopefully we got rated decent with the comps, you know. Maybe I wouldn't go all the way to black. Maybe I'd go, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll jump to $50 bets and just kind of see how they're rating me. Not a strategy that's going to win you a bunch of money. It definitely can win, but it's more about time at table, and maybe, if depending on how they rate you, could be a good comp strategy for you. All right, let's go ahead and use dicer.io. Take a look at how it maps out. And as you can see, we were a winner. And let's go ahead and compare it to our standards, the 3-point Molly and the 3-point Dolly. And that's with today's exact rolls. And you can see how less volatile the hedgehog is. It kind of just stays on that same line. It did end up a little bit up at 1375, the standard. Well, you can see that's the volatility. It goes up and down, but it still ended up positive at 1650 in the don't, up and down, but it ended up overall losing a little bit of money down at $900. Let's go ahead and throw in something like the double tap, a little more aggressive, and then maybe the iron cross. And let's go ahead and run these as random 10 shooter rolls and see what those look like. You can see that green line, the hedgehog, stays pretty close to the middle there the whole time. It did end up down just a few dollars, just most of them all lost except for the standard. The 3-point Molly actually ended up. But again, and then the Iron Cross, a little less volatile it looks like. Let's go ahead and run it one more time. Again, this is just 10 shooters, randomly generated numbers. The don't did not do good. Standard went way up and then came back some. Looks about like everything ended up positive or break even. But again, look at that hedgehog, how straight that line is. So very small volatility.